Post-game, as head coach Mike Lane joins us, NJIT losing to Maine this afternoon. And coach, obviously after winning 3 straight games, not the type of contest you wanted to see here on this Saturday afternoon. Maine really, had a strong first quarter, came out and played some really stingy defense against your program. What did you see from their defense that kind of set your offense, really kind of kept them at bay here throughout most of the first half?
Yeah, I would say a physicality and a mentality. They just had a different approach than we did today. That's why they're, the model program in this league. That's why they have a lot of banners and trophies. But they, and since I took this job, I said, hey, Maine is kind of what we're aspiring to be, and they showed us that we're not there yet.
Right.
And probably a little bit mad that we knocked them off back there a couple months ago. But they just didn't let us do anything easy, and that's the name of the game. And I think we're just passive. We're just way too passive, and it was physical early. I think it was a well-played, called game. It was just physical, and we blocked some shots down here, just like they were blocking shots down there. But we just got knocked to the floor, and just that was the difference. They're just a stronger, more physical team than us, and we just couldn't answer that bell today.
And I did want to just ask briefly about some of their players. You knew number 3, Ann Simon. I mean, she could score.
Yep.
I don't want to spend too much time on her. And number 5, Maeve Carroll. Obviously, her effectiveness on the glass, you kind of knew that maybe she was, going to be a focus today. But number 4, Alba O'Royce, really stepped up big for them today.
Yep.
Kind of maybe, I don't know, use the term surprise, or just really just had a big-time game here today.
No, she's been playing like that.
I was about to say, yeah, that's what I mean. She's done her job. Those 3, how much, I'm sure they were all over the scouting report today.
They did nothing that we didn't expect.
Right.
And Maeve hit some early shots. She hasn't been hitting those, but she took 20 shots and she scored 20 points. Generally, you're okay with that to some degree. Like, we wanted the offense to kind of go through her. We would have been nice to force a couple more misses, but I thought she picked up too much loose change kind of stuff. And then, we had to get out of that because that wasn't effective. And then they were just killing us on the high-low, and she had guards on her. So they just really had us in a pickle. Simon is going to score. I mean, there's a reason she's probably the best player in the league. And, you just saw her. She affects the game so much. She doesn't make any mistakes. She always throws the right pass. And then she can score at all 3 levels. To some point, 13 points is a victory.
Yes, exactly. Correct.
That's okay. Alba just wins the paint, and we just let her have the paint way too much. Really, that was certainly a big part of limiting their penetration, and we just didn't limit it. And so that was the killer today. And now once you let them get into the paint, now we're rotating. Now they're getting offensive rebounds. They're getting into the paint. We're rotating. They're kicking out the open threes. So it starts with limiting the penetration. It might look like, oh, they gave up a lot of open threes or they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, but really it was the penetration.
Oh, absolutely. But let's now talk about some of the things you did well. 14-4 run to end the first half.
Yep.
Then come out of the halftime break. You get a stop defensively. Lily Anderson able to get a rebound, but then the offense just kind of wasn't able to get its mojo going. Felt like defensively you guys were starting to figure things out a little bit. Where did you see the offense sputter kind of in that early portion?
Yeah, we cut it to 14, and for where we were, 14 was like, okay, can we just, you got to do it by incremental level, and I was like, okay, we got to 14. And then it's just hard to keep their offense down. Yeah. They just right away it was gone. And some of that was our offensive possessions for sure, but it was really like you can't give them 70 points. Like you're just not going to beat them at 70 already. So you're going into the half thinking like you got to hold them to 20 points, which is really hard against that team. And we just could not. It was like a finger in a dam there. Like we stopped this, and they were scoring there. We stopped this, we score there. And that's what we normally do on the offensive end. Correct. We just couldn't find any flow, I think mostly because we were a little bit in press break the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
We just didn't hit them. We didn't punish the press break like we did 2 months ago, and I thought that really hurt us.
I did want to give a shout out, at least just because, ask you about her. I mean, Aura did come off the bench today, gave you 9 points. She battled. Seemed like she really kind of had one of her best games this season. she's really come on as the season's gone on. She's been one of your, first couple of options off the bench. Are we starting now to see what Aria Myers means to NJIT?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's somebody like Aria will, she'll fight you.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's, like she's not going to back down from a challenge. And so today it's not by accident that this is the kind of game that she can play in because she's just a fighter. And we love that about her, and she plays hard. And this was a game that I knew that she could really help us. We just didn't have anybody along with her, unfortunately. Their big three had big games.
Yeah.
Our big three, not so much tonight, unfortunately. And that's hats off to Maine. They just took us out of everything. Our kids got to figure out a way to still find what they're looking for, even when the team is, trying to take that away as much as possible. And that's a hard thing sometimes to do.
Right.
And so we'll get better.
All right, we can close the book on Maine now. I'll say it, probably the biggest game of the season is on Monday night. UMass Lowell comes to town. You just got a victory over them a few days ago, and don't normally talk about it much, but this game will decide potential seeding purposes for the America East tournament. So, quick turnaround. How do you prepare for this opponent?
Yeah, well, it just happened. That's the good thing. It's not like it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it's still quick. I mean, that was literally our previous game to today. So we never even looked at that film because we had to move on to Maine. So as the team, we just kind of moved on to Maine. So now, hey, we can just revisit what happened there Wednesday night. There's not much you can do to some degree. But we can start to look at film and see where we can be better. Solis had a really good big night against us Wednesday night, so that's going to be job number one. We got to protect the paint and push her out a little bit and not give them those easy ones. They're the best three-point shooting team in the league, and we did a great job of that Wednesday night. It would be awesome if we could repeat that performance, but really hard the way that they shoot. But we got to limit them in the arc. So they're fighting too. And they're a great program, that's had some success over the last few years. And so we expect a battle. It should be a good Monday night basketball game here.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for stopping by as always, and looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday and hopefully an opportunity to play well there against UMass Lowell.
Yeah, we have a great opportunity this week. You've been here since we got here, and just we have a chance to play for something. We're in the fight here in the thick of it in the last week of the season. We couldn't say that in previous years, we're very proud of where we have built this program. We have a really good basketball team in that locker room. This 40 minutes today won't define us.
I can echo that, certainly. One of the best to ever grace the floor here at NJIT. So that's going to do it. Maine, they defeat NJIT 77-43.